Land Acknowledgement. As we gather together, we acknowledge the sacred land on which we reside. It has been a site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land is the territory of the Huron-Wendat and Petun First Nations, the Seneca, and most recently the Mississaugas of the Credit River. The territory was the subject of Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and Confederacy of the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, this gathering place is still the home of many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. We are also mindful of broken covenants and the need to strive to make right with all our relations. Last but certainly not least, we acknowledge the people of African descent who were brought here against their own will or in search of a safe place to live their lives and raise their children. Reconnaissance des terres. En nous rassemblant, nous reconnaissons la terre sacrée sur laquelle nous résidons. C'est un site d'activité humaine depuis 15 000 ans. Cette terre est le territoire des Premières Nations Huron-Wendat et Petun, les Scéniques et plus récemment les Mississaugas de la rivière Crédit. Le territoire était sujet de l'alliance de la ceinture Wampum plat avec cuillère, un accord entre la Confédération Iroquois et Confédération des Ojibwe et des nations alliées à partager et à prendre soin pacifiquement pour les ressources autour des Grands Lacs. Aujourd'hui, ce lieu de rassemblement est toujours le foyer de nombreux peuples autochtones de toute l'île de la Tortue et nous sommes reconnaissants d'avoir la possibilité de travailler dans la communauté sur ce territoire. Nous sommes également conscients des alliances brisées et de la nécessité de nous efforcer de guérir toutes nos relations. Dernier point, mais non le moindre, nous remercions les personnes d'ascendance africaine qui ont été amenées ici contre leur volonté ou à la recherche d'un endroit sûr où vivre leur vie et élever leurs enfants.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? I see some familiar faces. Rod Kadas. I'm not sure. No one has their cameras on, right? I think it's just yourself and myself, Michelle. But good morning, good afternoon. Feel free to turn your cameras on. Thank you so much for joining us. And you know what? Before we get into the show, if someone can just share the link. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for showing your wonderful face. Thank you. You're always such an encouragement. You know, I love your presence. Thank you so much for being here today. And you know what? Today is going to be a very, very interesting. Ross, how are you? Good to see you. So good to see you, Ross.
Doing great. I am doing great. The sun is shining outside. I should be playing golf, but the second best thing is ask a professional.
Absolutely, absolutely. So glad that you're here with us today, Ross. And I would like to, before we get started, if you can just share this link in the chat, if we can have maybe Danielle or Carrie Lee, if you can just share the link in the chat, because it will be a very informative session. We're going to be speaking about Shad Canada youth programs. And I personally have never heard, like I've been in Canada for almost 40 years, and I have never heard, I went through the system, the school system here, never heard of Shad Canada. So this will be a very, very informative session. And what we would also like to do, so once we've shared, please just feel free just to enter. I think it's just, I'm not seeing, let me just see who else is here with us. So we see Corridella. Okay, so we know who that is. Carrie Lee, Angel, Ross. Okay, feel free to share. I'm going to give a few moments for you all to share, even by your email. I don't know if we sent out an email. Did we send out the BBPA email? The blast, starting now blast? I don't think that's went out because I don't see that. But Michelle is our speaker today. I guess we'll sort of just slowly get started, Michelle. And so such a privilege to have you. I had a conversation with you just a few days ago. And I was blown away just by the information that you've shared with me and the beautiful programs by Shad Canada. So Michelle, maybe you can join me on the virtual stage. I'd be more than just happy to introduce you to our guests. And then what we'll do also, Michelle, because this presentation is being recorded. So although people may not be here today, they can still catch it on our YouTube channel, which is absolutely amazing. So once again, thank you everyone for joining Ask a Professional at the BBPA. My name is Moi Fung. I have the pleasure of being your host today. I actually really love this job. I certainly do. So it's such an honor to be here. Michelle Mcfarlane, how are you feeling today? We don't have to get your screen started just yet. I just wanted to hear how you're doing today.
I'm doing well. I am thrilled to be on this platform. The BBPA has meant a lot to me throughout my youth years. And so this is just a matter of giving back as well, sharing this information. So thrilled to be here.
Certainly, and it's really happy to have you as well. And you have a wealth of knowledge to share with us today. And before you get started with your presentation, Michelle, what I would like to do is just read your bio, if that's okay. As an equity and diversity and inclusion manager at Shad, you're also a 2003 alum, right? Your passion is extending the Shad program to talented and curious youth with diverse lived experiences, perspectives, and strengths. In addition to fostering relationships with program partners, Michelle provides guidance and support regarding program development and youth engagement. These efforts work to ensure that Shad environments are inclusive and accessible for students who have been historically underrepresented in STEAM, including Black youth, Indigenous youth, and youth with disabilities. That's awesome. Michelle believes that with the diverse experiences and backgrounds of all students across Canada, that they belong in the boardroom within STEAM careers for meaningful change to take place. She aspires to eliminate barriers to career in STEAM and to bring a sense of belonging among traditionally underrepresented students in STEAM. Michelle graduated from McMaster University with a Bachelor of Health Science degree and from University of Toronto with Master of Science degree. She has a background of medical training in the US, snap, Michelle, and equity, diversity, and inclusion advocacy experience within the field of medicine with pre-medical students, medical trainees, and physicians. Outside the office, Michelle enjoys mentoring youth and travel. Michelle, how inspiring is that?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow, we are truly blessed to have you today. And again, like I said, you've shared a wealth of knowledge with us. And I'd love you to share with our guests. So if you can just introduce to our audience member what Shad Canada is. I'm sure this will all probably be in your presentation. What STEAM is. Many of us don't know what STEAM means or what it is. If you can just share all of that, that would be great. And once you go through your presentation, what we'll do is we'll stop for some question and answer from our audience members, okay?
That's awesome. Wait,
all
thank
right,
you.
so
would you like me to share my screen or?
The floor is all yours. You can do what you want to do with your presentation. Go ahead.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Moi. And so today I'm here to share with you the Shad Canada program. I know this is probably new for most people on the call. Shad has been instrumental in my life. Moi read my profile. It always sounds a bit weird when someone else reads it, but I've had quite a journey in STEAM. So STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. I did go to medical school in the US, specifically in Washington, D.C., where I was had an opportunity to learn about policy, health policy. I was near the White House and had opportunities to learn about underrepresented communities and the ways that we can push down those barriers. And so I'm here with Shad Canada as Shad's Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Manager, sharing the Shad experience with students from coast to coast with various lived experiences, perspectives, and strengths. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to do a little bit of a land acknowledgement. So our office, Shad Canada, is situated out of Waterloo, Ontario. So we're situated on the land traditionally cared for by the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Neutral peoples. I am just outside of Toronto, so I want to acknowledge that the land in which I live and work is traditionally cared for by the Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, Seneca, Chippewa, and Mississaugas of the Credit peoples. And we acknowledge the enduring presence and the deep traditional knowledge and philosophies of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land today. So we recognize that this land acknowledgement is a small step, but it is a significant step in walking together, forward together in unity and healing and reconciliation. So the goals of the afternoon is just to share with you the Shad program. Through many of our EDI initiatives that are now rolling out, we have a few opportunities that I think would be really fantastic for you to be aware of. One is the Shad Entrance Scholarships for Black students, which is really exciting and fairly new, and also our Shad BBPA scholarships that we want to share with you today. So that's me. Thank you, Moy, for the introduction. I am very passionate about helping students to step outside of their comfort zone. I went to Shad almost 20 years ago. Our program has been running for 40 years. And so this is an opportunity for me to get other students, young minds, excited about these opportunities. I'm passionate about seeing students stretch and learn, interacting with peers outside of their communities, possibly all across Canada, and helping students to envision possible futures in post-secondary pathways. So Shad is a STEAM and entrepreneurship program for high school students. So that's for students in grades 10 and 11. So STEAM, if you're not familiar with that term, it is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And our program is a really interesting fusion because we have both the STEAM and also the entrepreneurial piece. And so we love to get students excited about things like tech entrepreneurship, and different ways in which students can overlap their passions and their interests. As I mentioned, our program's been running for 40 years. We have over 20,000 alumni and counting. And our program uses a hands-on STEAM framework. So that means that we introduce students to lectures and workshops, labs and field trips, and a National Social Innovation Design Challenge, which is at the core of our program. We offer about 1.5 million in financial assistance to our students every year to participate in the Shad program. So what that means is that about 1 in 3 students that attend our program receive some form of financial assistance, either in the form of scholarships or bursaries. We have about 13,000 students participating in our program 1,300 students participate in our program every year. And so we're really excited about expanding that pool of students that participate in Shad and offering more financial opportunities for students. So in addition to the bursaries that I've mentioned and the various scholarships, I do want to highlight 2 scholarships that we're offering for students specifically who are Black identifying or belonging to the BBPA community. So one is the Shad Entrance Scholarships for Black students. That was launched last year. And so we have 10 bright minds that have just entered our Shad program, and I'll share that with you today. And we're continuing to roll out those scholarship opportunities for students. So those entrance scholarships are for students across Canada. So you don't have to be connected with the BBPA to be eligible for that scholarship. The other scholarship that is relatively new is our Shad BBPA scholarships. So those are specifically for students that are Black identifying connected with the BBPA and BBPA programs. So a purpose at Shad is to ignite youth potential and create lasting impact. So what do we do in our program? So I mentioned we have the hands-on learning opportunities. These are interactive. We have STEAM lectures, labs, and workshops, all taking place on a university campus. We have interdisciplinary design teams. These are pan-Canadian teams. So these are students from all across our country coming together in these design teams to do what we call STEAM for Good. There's Indigenous programming that we offer. We offer localized Indigenous knowledge sharing and program at all of our Shad campuses. We have keynote speakers. Many of those speakers are high-profile speakers and prominent Canadian leaders. We've been very proud that we have offered an always majority female program over the past 40 years. We know that young women may not always feel like they belong in STEAM pathways. And so this is something that we're very proud of. And as I mentioned, we have 20,000 plus Shad alumni within our network. So that includes myself, also CEOs, some international academics, social entrepreneurs, healthcare professionals, best-selling authors, and AI innovators. One of the amazing things about the Shad program is that it's basically an opportunity for students to live on a university campus for an entire month. And so this is what makes the program so exciting and a robust opportunity for students to explore post-secondary pathways. So students, typically for the Shad on-campus option, they'll live on campus during the month of July. And they have the option of living at a university campus of their choice. So students, our program runs across 22 university campuses across the country. And so students have a say in choosing what campus might be of interest to them, and then spending 27 days, 24/7 on that university campus with access to mentors and workshops and lectures and a very robust and ambitious program schedule. Coming out of the pandemic, we've also rolled out Shad Anywhere, which is our digital option. Last year, we had about 100 students that were in that program. And over the next summer, we are expecting that number to be double the size. And so this is also an opportunity for students to participate in post-secondary opportunities. That particular program is powered by Athabasca University, and it contains content from universities all across the country. Similar to the on-campus option, it's a 20-day program, 120 hours. It is a very robust schedule. Students work in design teams. They're interacting with peers across the country. It's sort of like a digital version of an on-campus Shad. So here's where our program is running. You can see that our program runs across the country at 22 campuses, including our digital option. And so I don't know where everyone is on the call today, but we have programs running on the East Coast at Dalhousie University, Memorial University, Mount Allison. We have the Shad program running in Central Ontario at Ontario Tech, TMU, McMaster, Carleton. We have the Shad program on the West Coast. So that would be University of Calgary, UBC, and a number of other universities. If I haven't called them out, you can see them here on the screen. And so students are fully engaged in an opportunity post-secondary experience. And that's what makes this program so exciting for youth that are so young. So they're only in grade 10 and 11. And so I could talk ad nauseum about the Shad program, but it's better, I think, if you see it for yourself. And so we wanted to share two videos with you. One is from Dr. Kingsley Hurlington. He's one of our program directors at Shad. Specifically, he works at the Shad McMaster campus, and he's been a program director there for 16 years. And so there's a number of young minds that he's touched over the years. And he talks about how Shad is an opportunity to connect with a community to further explore your interests and curiosities on your journey to finding your passion. And so I'll share this with you. Just have to share the audio.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kingsley Hurlington.
Can you maybe give me a thumbs up if that's audible?
Yes, it is. It is.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kingsley Hurlington, and I'm the Program Director for Shad McMaster.
Excited to welcome everyone to the Design Entrepreneurship Project.
I've been committed to Shad for a very long time. This is my 16th year. There is something truly extraordinary that's happening here. Each summer, I get to work with some of the brightest young men and young women from all across Canada, and I get a chance to see them develop from people who are amazingly, powerfully brilliant in an individual way to something that is remarkable because they are able to benefit from the collective experience of working collaboratively. There's a wide range of things that would capture our attention as Shad. We know that not every kid comes from a family where there's lots of resources. We know that not every kid is dealing with the same kind of challenges in their lives. And I think it's important for us to recognize that if one of the things you do is you look after your grandparents or you look after your sibling, that's valid. Those are meaningful contributions that you can talk about when you're putting together your Shad application. For many years, I was one of the few program directors who was racialized Black, and now this team has diversified as well. So our team of people at Shad Canada has diversified, and the community of Shads has also diversified. While issues of diversity around race, around gender, where all these identities, they certainly do matter, and we don't want to push those things aside, but what we're looking for is excellence. And if you know that you are excellent and you are comfortable in that excellence, then you'll be definitely welcome in the Shad community. You don't have to be the same as anybody else. You need to be you and be excellent. And if you can do that, we're going to celebrate with you.
Okay, great.
Very nice. Thanks for sharing that.
No problem. Just have to get that presentation back up.
Yes, take your time, no problem.
Sorry about that.
And for those of you who are just joining us, we are speaking about Shad Canada and its youth programs that it's been offering for over 40 years. Listen in.
Okay, great. I love hearing from Kingsley. And I love that he speaks to his Black identity in the program as well. I think he's been incredibly inspiring for a lot of youth that's joined the program, a lot of Black youth within the past year that have joined this program. Another video I wanted to show you is just how Shad offers opportunities for students to explore new things and building new skills with the help of peers and university mentors in a post-secondary environment. So I think this video really gives you an opportunity to hear from the youth themselves that were at Shad the past summer or so, and what the program meant to them. Is this screen visible? Are you able to see the second video of the youth?
I can see it. Yes, I can see the second video.
Perfect.
Because we are high school students, we're kind of taking that step towards going to university. And so getting that experience before you even enter university gives you kind of a level up. And you're able to understand what university life is like and how different lectures are going to work, how different labs are going to work, and you also kind of get to figure out what you want to do at university. And even if that's not clear, it definitely does kind of give you a general direction.
In school, they give you very specific paths. Being at Shad, I've been able to realize how many other different paths there are. And I think that's like really beneficial because then you're able to find something that you're truly passionate about that you would have not known of before.
I've always had kind of an inclination towards neurosciences and medical programs. The program has really helped me solidify my views on what it is I want to pursue in post-secondary.
You can follow these passions and you can have fun while doing it. I was always worried that like I'm gonna go into university, I'm gonna go to engineering, and I'm just gonna be stuck in like some office job. But I'm seeing these people, these mentors that come in and teach us, and they're having these awesome jobs that I really want to go into. And then they also show us how you can get there. So like all these workshops, all these presentations, they've given me direction and purpose in my like direction in life.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Very nice. Ooh. I wish I was back in high school.
And so I think with all of that said, you're hearing from Kingsley, you're hearing from the student. There's a student that I really want to highlight and share with you. This is Chinamarim. So he went to Shad in 2018. He's from Manitoba. He went to Shad at University of Saskatchewan. And so, I'll talk a little bit about that as students do have a choice in where they want to have this post-secondary experience. And so he actually traveled outside of his province, went to Shad, University of Saskatchewan, and he's now at University of Waterloo in the computer engineering program. And so I wanted to share with you Chinamarin's story and what the Shad experience meant to him.
Perfect. Thank you.
Before going to Shad, I wasn't even sure what I wanted to do. Shad definitely pushed me in that STEM pathway by giving me the opportunity to explore these different fields and find out what I was more interested in. And so coming into university, I had a bit of a clearer picture of what I wanted to do. I didn't know much about software before going into Shad, but then I meet all these people with their experiences, and it lets me know that that's even a possibility as something I can do. So currently I'm doing computer engineering here at the University of Waterloo. The world is my oyster, I think. That's what Shad has taught me, like the sky is only the beginning. I'm always starting new ideas and trying to see what I can do to give back to others. Currently, I run like a nonprofit where we make tech for other nonprofits that aren't as technical. I'm also helping out with NISB, which is like the National Society of Black Engineers, to empower Black people stay in STEM and like learn more. And going forward, I want to do more of that. I think ideally I want to go back to Nigeria and see how I can mix my things that I've learned in STEM and empower the next generation of people like me. I think that technology is incredibly powerful and it can really change the way everyone lives their lives, and I've seen that firsthand. So passing that off to other people, I think, is something that would bring me a lot of joy in my life. My name is Shinram Chibo. I went to Shad Sask in 2018, and I'm a computer engineering student at the University of Waterloo.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes.
Yes.
Cordelia says very good. And we still have about half an hour.
I was a little bit nervous
go.
about the application process just because it seems so scary.
Yes, sorry, boy.
I was
No,
scared.
that's fine. Did you have more videos to show, or?
I did not. That one started playing on its own.
No problem. So we can, I guess maybe we can stop sharing. Well, you still have your presentation that you want to finish up, right? But I mean.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Yes. So we'll just wait for you to start your presentation again. But feel free to share the link with your friends and colleagues. We still have about half an hour to go. We will have a question and answer segment. So we have, I have a couple questions of my own as well. This is very exciting. Very, very exciting.
Thank you, Moy. So hopefully you can see the next slide. Is that visible to everyone? I'm not sure.
What does it look like for you? What does that look like for you? Yes?
Yes. So Shad is so different for different students. This program allows students to really dream and explore and combine their interests. And so what we like to ask youth is, when you see stories like this, what parts of the story did you connect with? And start thinking about what your passion might look like, is what we like to ask our students. We like to ask students as well is, where can we, increase our confidence? Where are those opportunities in which we can increase our confidence? And how can a program like the Shad program potentially answer and build on those questions? And so you've heard from Kingsley, you've heard from a few students, including Chinamarin, who's one of our Shad alum. And so this is sort of what the students sort of are engaged in for the month of July. So students are engaged in lectures, workshops, coffee houses, different field trips. We've had students visit Google, for example, or they visited the headquarters for LinkedIn. We have students participating in a variety of labs. And at the core of the program is a design challenge. And so students are learning anything from economics on one day all the way to maybe something specific about environmental science. And so in the top picture, you can see the students are involved in a lab involving insects. In the bottom right-hand corner, the students are actually going camping. A lot of our youth end up going camping for a few days, which is a really fun part of the program. And then in the bottom left, you can see students are sort of looking at plants, and so they're involved in some environmental science. Students get to, as I mentioned, participate in post-secondary academics. So they're engaging in those lectures and workshops and seminars. They're engaging with community leaders, faculty and industry experts, and really getting a deeper understanding of what STEAM for Good means, what we call STEAM for Good. And here's that real world design challenge. So it's not your typical STEM program because there is a business aspect or entrepreneurial aspect. So students are working in design teams and they have opportunities to make a business plan and to actually pitch to a panel of experts. And so this is pitch day for Shad. This is what it looks like. You can see the young woman, she's actually sharing a prototype that her group created. And so this particular prototype is a backpack that would have some positive benefits for health and well-being of communities. I don't actually know all the details of this backpack. You can see in the background, it's called Flight, is their group's name. But you can see that they're dressed up for this particular day because they are pitching their design to a panel of experts who will provide feedback. And it's a bit of a little bit of a hot seat for youth so young to be sharing their designs and also coming up with business plans and financial models. But it is absolutely amazing to sit in on this half-day pitch day at the end of the program and see what these young minds are able to come up with. And so here is the real world design challenge that we've had over the years. And remember that our program every year runs with 1,300 students across the country. And so students have the same question during the month of July. So all 1,300 students are designing around the same question. And so in the year 2021, students were designing around how might we help Canadians treat our fresh water with more respect. And in the year 2020, students were designing around how might we leverage space as a creative research platform to advance humankind. And you can see that students are just designing around anything from transportation to health crises like obesity to food security. One of the coolest things that I've seen the youth do recently is in the year 2020, where they were creating around leveraging space as a creative research platform. One of the design teams actually got to take their prototype and it was launched to space with Blue Origin, I think, over the past 2 years. And so that was amazing. They actually got to take their prototype and it went up to space as a payload. And so the things that youth are able to come up with and experience is really, really incredible. I should also mention one of our board members is an astronaut herself. And so she actually mentored the youth, and I think the youth get really excited about opportunities to connect with astronauts. So this is not school. This is a program to level up. It's a program to explore a world of opportunities surrounded by a community of like-minded youth. And here are where all of our Shad alum are. You can see they're all across the country. Our alum is growing, so we have 20,000 plus alum. And we are really proud of the diversity of the alum that we're able to attract into our program and hoping to do more of that, which is why I'm here today, is really inspire our Black youth to see STEAM and entrepreneurship as a possibility in their future, to see university and post-secondary pathways as a future, and helping youth to see themselves as knowledge makers. And so a lot of what we do is helping youth to think broadly, to think big, and sort of design what they think the future might look like for their young generation. And so the benefits of Shad, in addition to participating in the program and being on campus for a whole month and interacting with peers across the country, is that you do have opportunities to earn high school credits. And so depending on what province you are, you may actually have an opportunity to earn a high school credit. If you're a youth participating in the IB program, you could also gain a high school credit for that. There's also this immense opportunity after you finish the program, you have access to exclusive university scholarships to universities. And so, for example, if you really want to be at University of Waterloo after grade 12, perhaps you're like Chinamarim and you're really interested in computer engineering, there would be exclusive Shad alumni scholarships that you can apply for to open that door to post-secondary. And so the benefits do extend outside of the July program. And in this particular case, it's a financial support for students as they walk that post-secondary path. And so here's our beautiful 10 faces of our Shad alum from coast to coast. These are the recipients of the Shad Entrance Scholarships for Black students. So these students applied to the Shad program. They received the full program fee that was covered. And I really encourage you to go on our website and learn more about them. We have students sharing with us that some wanted to be I think a brain surgeon, if I'm not correct. Surgeons to politicians to tech entrepreneurs. So the interest is wide. This is not just a STEAM program or STEM program. It's really interdisciplinary. We have youth with all backgrounds and interests participating in the program. And so part of the reason why I'm here today is to share with us our new Shad BBPA scholarships. And so there are 2 scholarships available to youth involved in BBPA programs. And similar to the entrance scholarships, these scholarships will cover the full program fee. And so if you are interested in this, I really encourage you to either reach out to me or reach out to Stephanie, who is Director of Programs at the BBPA, to get more information. And so what do students have to do? In order to apply, they need to fill out an application. It is a competitive process, so we ask students to really put in their best effort. We do have members of the Black community as reviewers and judges as well. And so we're really passionate about having that equity piece involved in our application process. And so students can apply. They can open the application and start at any time, and applications are due in December. And so applications are open now. They close on December 1st, and students are notified in February, and then the program runs in July. And so I think that summarizes the Shad program and what I wanted to share with you all today. So I hope this gets you really excited about the potential for Black youth in grades 10 and 11 and sort of envisioning new futures for post-secondary pathways.
Absolutely. This was great. Thank you so much. If we can just use our virtual emojis or in the chat, sounds outstanding is what Mona Walrone says. This has been great, Michelle. Thank you so much. If we can stop sharing and we're able to open up for question and answer now, that would be great. Lichia, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, says this program is amazing. As somebody who went into university extremely lost and confused, this would have made a significant difference. Now, I'm not sure when you went to university, but as I said earlier, I've been here for about 40 years here in Canada, and I have never heard of the Shad program. So this is such an amazing platform in the sense that it really enlightens and share this amazing information. Thank you so much. Maybe you can stop sharing now and let's get back on the screen. Michelle, good to see you again. And let's get our questions answered. Listen, this was absolutely enlightening. I know there's a few things that you said. I have some questions of my own, Michelle, but I do want to open up to our audience members just to share. And thank you so much. Let me just first start by saying, thank you so much for the work that you do in providing this sort of information. Again, it's so necessary, especially in today's day and age where technology and, AI is a big thing now, right? I think it really, it certainly is a good thing to share that information with individuals and, not just the youth, but also the parents of those youth, right? So thank you so much. They're already engaged in technology already, I think. Learning that this option is there for them is certainly eye-opening. I'm at a loss for words today. Chat, let's see who's in the chat. What questions do we have? I know with okay, let's hear what Cordelia says. So we recognize the international students from minority groups encounter several challenges while studying here, whether it is tuition, rental payment, etc. Are provisions available through SHAD for international students who are pursuing studies in the STEAM program?
Yeah, thank you for this question, Cordelia, if I'm saying your name correctly. This is something we hear quite often. At this time, and it's something that we're trying to work on, I'll be honest. So at this time, because of our funding model, we are offering scholarships and bursaries and such for students that are residents of Canada. And so we don't have specific scholarships for international students at this time.
Okay, thank you so much for that. In terms of your outreach, I know platform like BBPA, we heard about the wonderful, incredible new scholarship through the BBPA, but how do you, I've never heard of you. And maybe if we can maybe give that poll in the chat, has anyone that is here heard of Shad Canada? Because I certainly, if you can just maybe raise your hand, if you, or say, maybe you could just make a say it in the chat. No, you've never heard of it. Okay.
I have. Hi, Moy. Hello, Michelle.
Hey, Nadine.
Hi, Nadine.
Michelle, I want to thank you so very much for your presentation. I've heard of course, this Shad because we had communicated a while back, and also one of our partners, Lifelong Leadership Institute, are also one of the participants in this initiative. And listen, I think it's just incredible. Your presentation was really, really great. And I think there's such opportunity here. And one of the questions that I have is just maybe if you could just highlight one of the stories, because I think when I first heard of this organization and what this scholarship is, it was the stories that really impressed me, and not only the stories, but the language. Like, this is your next level life experience. Like, it's just so very strong. So I wondered if you could share with the group today maybe one or two examples of stories that you do have, because so many resonated with me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nadine. Great to see your face again. Yeah, so we have many, many partners. So when I think about stories, a lot of those come out of the partnerships actually recently. And so in addition to the BBPA, Nadine mentioned Lifelong Leadership Institute, which is a fantastic program for Black youth in Ontario. We had just about almost 20 students go to Shad from LLI this year, which is amazing. And I visited a few Shad campuses this year and had a few students run up to me and give me a hug from LLI, sharing with me how amazing Shad has been for them this summer. And so not calling out any youth names on the call, but there is a student that was she received the valedictorian, is what they call it, for the month. So she was the valedictorian of Shad for the month of July, which is amazing. She came in very shy and really blossomed over 4 weeks, not just in her level of confidence, but also that just the intellect and just the vision for STEAM, everything STEAM and entrepreneurship, really. I saw her present on what we call pitch day, which is when students stand up in front of a panel of judges and share their prototype. And fantastic presentation. And so I think we're seeing students who are doing things that they didn't envision that they would ever be able to do. Some students didn't have an interest in STEAM or did not have any interest in STEAM coming into the program, and then saw it in a totally different light. Some said, yeah, science is for me, tech is for me. Other students said, wow, I didn't know I could combine this with business. I'm doing financial models now. I didn't know that this was even a thing. And so it really has opened up the minds of a lot of youth that we're seeing in the program. I've just received another letter from a parent from the LLI group that said they'd never seen their son with this much confidence over the month of July interacting with other peers. And so those are some of the stories that I want to offer to students. There's a world of opportunity out there.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Is Nadine still there? Yes. You're on mute, Nadine.
I was just saying thank you. Those are great stories, especially the confidence building piece. Remarkable stories. Thank you.
Certainly. I can only imagine when a child gets immersed into a program for a whole month on campus, what it looks like when they come out of it, right? With all the mentors and all the individuals who are there to inspire them. Very, 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 very nice. Any other questions? We do have a few people who say they did not hear. So again, the BBPA, I always have to big you up in my Jamaican terms, right? Just for the platform and sharing this incredible information. And I just wish more people would know about this stuff. So I will do my best to share amongst my peer group, my colleagues and friends, because this is incredible. This is incredible. When Kingsley said something about, you know, they take the most brilliant and brightest students, oftentimes in high school, unfortunately, a lot of our youth, especially the Black boys who are falling behind in high school or in school in general, they don't exhibit that brilliance that they do have. Are there any specialized programs to help to reach those young people who may not even be interested in school at this point?
I think that's a fantastic question. I stand in front of large audiences of youth, and I really, part of what I do is share my story as a young Black female in the Ontario school system, not feeling like I was particularly viewed perhaps in that light, and how Shad, because I went to Shad, really disrupted that narrative for me. And so I came back from that program a different person. And so when I stand on stage and I share this program, I'm looking at brilliance all across the room and hoping that we can just start fresh again. And so I don't know all the stories of some of the Black youth that have attended our program, and, you know, historically, some of all the barriers they've been through, but I know it certainly exists. And I'm hoping that this program is a way for students to just start fresh with a new narrative, with friends and a supportive environment where they can start re-envisioning the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, in your presentation, they also meant you also mentioned that it's a very competitive application process. What does that look like? What exactly are you looking for from these students?
Yeah, when I say competitive, I mean that there's just so many youth applying and we have so many spaces. And so that's where that competitive piece comes in. But really, you don't need an A+ to be in our program or anything like that. It's not actually about academics. It's about what we say change maker capabilities. And so we're looking for students to share with us, how do you envision the future of your community that you're with? Share with us what makes you curious and engaged. Those are those fundamental pieces that we're looking at. So we're looking at curiosity, community engagement, change maker capabilities, that sort of entrepreneurial mindset that's looking to change, disrupt, you know, re-envision. And so we ask a few questions to students just to sort of look into their mindset about those pieces. And so that's what I would offer Moy, is that it's really about having students share with us what makes them curious.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Please feel free. We have a few more minutes with Michelle Mcfarlane of Shad Canada. Any other questions? Feel free to put in the chat here. Ola says, thank you, BBPA, for the impacts you are making and giving people opportunity to connect. I met a Shad participant who attended UNB this summer, and I was so excited to learn that our first connection was through BBPA Rise Up event. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ola. And again, you said that the programs, we do have the BBPA specialized grant program. That's something that's newly launched that we need to celebrate as well. But you don't have to go through BBPA is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, actually, that's Oleighton. Hi, Oleighton. Oleighton is with the Black Business Professional Network of New Brunswick. I believe that's Oleighton. I'm making a guess here. But we have many, many partners. So one of them being the BBPA. We have other business networks across the country, including Calgary Black Chambers, as I'd mentioned, BBPN New Brunswick, other chapters, nonprofits like the Jean Augustine Center, running out of Etobicoke. Black Boys Code runs across the country. They are also our partners. And so there's plenty of opportunities if you take a good look at our website for students to get connected to Shad.
Very nice. And are you on social media as well? Do you do any marketing through Instagram? All the places where all our young people would be?
So it's Shad Program is our Instagram handle.
Okay, and is that, are you on TikTok as well?
No, we don't have TikTok yet.
Okay, okay. I'm not sure where else that maybe Nadine knows where else these young people are, but I know there's like TikTok, Instagram, and all these different places. Not so much Facebook anymore, but I think this is quite incredible. So Ola says yes, BBPA inspired our journey in New Brunswick, and yes, they are still our inspiration. Very nice. Thank you for sharing those links, Nadine. Shad.ca. And then we also have the Instagram handle there as well. So feel free to check those out as well. But we still are open for any other questions. Any parent who is interested in this program that has never heard of this before, what would you like to be answered by Michelle Mcfarlane, who's here with us today? Quiet. Okay, perfect. So Michelle, how any final words? We're just getting ready to wrap up, but any final words that you may want to share with our audience members, maybe as an encouragement to students, not just the students, but also the parents, right, who might be with us today. What can you share with us?
I think if I were to offer any advice, I think it's just encourage students to stretch out of their comfort zone. And so when I share this program, I know usually I get two answers like, yes, I'm on board. And then there's also the students that are, I'm on board, but I'm a little scared. And so I would just ask that you connect with any youth that are feeling a little nervous to stretch outside of their comfort zone, because there's just so many benefits for students in this program who are looking to travel that post-secondary pathway. Also, I just want to highlight the BBPA scholarships. We're really looking to find two youth that would be that we can provide those scholarships to.
Okay, I'm not sure what screen is up in front of me, but this is not, I don't believe, is this what we're looking at right now? Bear with me a moment. Mona wants to know, kindly post the age range again, please. I believe you said grade
10 and 11. Yes, grades 10.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So if we can just, okay, so Michelle, so you have just mentioned about the BBPA scholarship, and what you're suggesting is that you're looking for two young people, two youth.
Yes, we're looking to fill those scholarships this year. So it's two youth, full scholarships to Shad, two youth that are connected to any BBPA programs.
Perfect. And what are the timelines for that? I know earlier you shared some timelines. What are the timelines for that?
So it's the same as a regular Shad application. So they'll be applying for that within the Shad application. It's all rolled into one. So applications are open now, and students have until December 1st to submit.
December the 1st. Okay. Okay, well, Michelle, I think I have a screen. I'm seeing a screen in front of me, but Michelle, I can't see you at this moment, but I thank you so much for sharing with us today. It's totally been inspiring, and I'll be sharing as well. Okay, just bear with me. I'll be sharing with my colleagues and my friend group and so forth. Nadine, you have something to say just before we close? I can do that before we do the announcements.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to thank Michelle again, and Moy to thank you as well, and to thank the BBPA team for putting this together. And I see the comments in the chat around, the goodness and the great work that the BBPA is doing. And, how you can help as the audience is to share our content. Content, as we all know, that engaged content drives a lot of things in today's environment. And so join our Instagram page, go to our Twitter, comment on LinkedIn. It's really important that you engage with the content. When you like something, let us know. And if there's anything that we can do, any programming that you'd like to see, do let us know, because, we're truly here to serve you, our members, and we want to continue to have speakers like Michelle come on and in the spirit of, ask a professional, to be able to ask in any different sector that you're interested in. So this is all of this programming and this content is truly for you. And we would like to hear your voices as part of the conversation in terms of what we provide for you. So thank you so much for being here. And, onwards, we continue together. Merci.
Beautifully said, Nadine. Thank you so much. So feel free, even right now, before we end, to go on to our Instagram and follow us at the BBPA. Okay. And we're also on Twitter and LinkedIn and so forth. So, and at the very end, I'll show you all the handles. But Michelle, once again, on behalf of the BBPA, thank you so much for presenting with us today. Thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing. And everyone who's joined us today, thank you so much. It's not too late to share as well. This video will be uploaded onto YouTube. So feel free to share, engage with our social media as well. I have a few announcements just before we close, but thank you once again, Michelle. Have yourself a wonderful day. And please, let's keep in touch. So our 38th annual National Scholarship Award ceremony will be taking place this Friday on October the 6th from 5:30 till 8:30. There's live streaming available. So join us and our fellow BBPA National Scholarship recipients to celebrate your achievements. This event is dedicated to recognizing your hard work and making your contributions. And on October the 11th, I get to speak with Derace Rose, who's a founder of Oppose. And we'll be speaking about tools and tech for small businesses. That's next Wednesday, October the 11th at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. I think there might be another one. Yes, and we are back. BADES is back every Thursday. So with the topics to elevate Black entrepreneurs every Thursday starting October the 12th at 2 p.m. Okay, I think that might be it for announcements, everyone. It has been such a blessing to be here with all of you. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, and please do join us as well on Thursday, okay? The links will be available. Look out for our emails. Oh, next slide, maybe if we can get the handles for our social media pages. Do follow us, engage with our content. Oh, okay, the next slide is October the 14th. Reclaim your credit power. We have beautiful host Chanel Smith, who will be joining us on Saturday. Okay, Saturday at 10 a.m. That is every Saturday. Okay, and this is how you keep in touch at the BBPA on Instagram, in LinkedIn, Black Business and Professional Association, Facebook / the BBPA, and info@thebBPA.org is where you reach us by email, and our website is bbpa.org. If you can maybe take a print screen of this, and please do follow us on social media. As someone once said, knowledge is power, but knowledge if it's not applied, it is not powerful, right? So let us apply the knowledge that we've heard, and in terms of just sharing with our network, right? So that we can truly become powerful. We do have some amazing programs here at the BBPA, and we really want to share all of those programs, information, and knowledge with you so that you can level up in this season and beyond. Once again, everyone, we do see the links as well in the chats. Once again, everyone, we thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.